Have you ever sat down to a warm plate of fish, maybe grilled just right, seasoned with lemon and herbs, and thought, this is good for me? It feels healthy. It smells like something your doctor would approve of. And for most of your life, you've probably heard that fish is one of the best foods you can eat. Light, lean, full of protein, and those famous omega-3s for your heart and brain. But here's the twist. What if I told you that some of the most common fish on your plate might actually be doing more harm than good? What if that healthy meal you trust, the one you grew up with, is quietly damaging your memory, your nerves, and even your heart? It sounds unbelievable, but for older adults, this is a growing concern. As we age, our bodies process toxins differently, our organs work harder, our immune systems slow down. That means we are more vulnerable to the hidden dangers in certain kinds of fish, mercury, industrial chemicals, harmful bacteria, and most people have no idea. These fish look healthy. They are sold in stores everywhere. They are served at family dinners and holiday meals. But the truth is, some of them are quietly hurting the very people who need nourishment the most. In this video, we are going to reveal the 6 specific types of fish that older adults should avoid at all costs. Some of them might already be in your fridge. One of them might shock you. As we get older, the way our body handles food changes. What used to work for us in our 30s or 40s might no longer be safe in our 60s, 70s or beyond. And when it comes to fish, that change matters more than most people realize. You see, many types of fish contain trace amounts of mercury and other environmental toxins. When you're younger, your kidneys and liver work faster to filter those out. Your immune system is stronger, your digestion is quicker, and your nervous system is more resilient. But with age, all of that slows down. For older adults, even small amounts of mercury can start to build up over time. That build-up can quietly affect your memory, your coordination, and even your mood. Some people begin to forget names, others start having trouble sleeping, or feel more anxious without knowing why. It is not just mercury. Some fish are raised or caught in polluted waters. These fish may contain dangerous substances like PCBs and dioxins. Others are raised in farms that use antibiotics or coloring agents that the body has a hard time dealing with. And let's not forget the risk of foodborne illness. Raw or undercooked fish can carry bacteria or parasites. A younger person might recover from that quickly, but for a senior it can lead to serious infections, hospital stays, or worse. The good news, you don't have to stop eating fish, you just have to know which ones to avoid and what safer alternatives to choose. That is exactly what this video will guide you through. Let's begin with the first fish on the list. One that many people assume is healthy, but for older adults it can quietly do a lot of damage. Picture this, your grandfather's in the backyard flipping thick slices of king mackerel on the grill. The smell fills the air and he smiles proudly. He believes he's doing something good for his heart, something rich in omega-3s, something smart. But what if that very fish is the reason he's been forgetting things lately? King mackerel is one of the highest mercury-containing fish available in markets today. And mercury is not just a word on a warning label. For older adults, it is a toxin that can quietly settle into the brain and nerves, affecting everything from balance to memory. At first, the signs are subtle. A name slips the mind. A coffee mug trembles in the hand. Someone forgets why they walked into a room. It is easy to blame age, but mercury buildup from eating fish like king mackerel may be playing a role, and most people have no idea. To make matters worse, king mackerel is often confused with Atlantic mackerel. The names sound similar, but the health effects are not. Atlantic mackerel is low in mercury, high in nutrients, and actually a great choice for seniors. But king mackerel is a risk no older adult should be taking. If this fish is in your freezer, it might be time to replace it. Not because fish is bad, but because the wrong kind of fish can slowly wear you down in ways you may not see until it's too late. The safer alternatives? Wild-caught salmon or sardines? Both are low in mercury, rich in heart-healthy fats, and kind to your body over time. The next time you visit the seafood counter or fire up the grill, remember this. Not all fish are created equal, and your brain deserves better than quiet poison. Imagine this. You're out at a nice restaurant with your family. Maybe it's a birthday or an anniversary. You see whitefish special or catch of the day on the menu. It sounds light, healthy, perfect for a special night, but you don't know what fish it actually is. It might be tilefish, and if it is, that quiet dinner could come with a risk you never expected. Tilefish, especially the kind caught in the Gulf of Mexico, contains some of the highest mercury levels found in any seafood, even higher than king mackerel, and the effects are particularly dangerous for older adults. Mercury doesn't just affect your body, it targets your brain. It interferes with how you think, how you balance, even how you feel. Confusion, memory loss, dizziness. These symptoms can sneak in so slowly you might not connect them to what you're eating. Tilefish can look elegant on a plate. It might be served with a drizzle of lemon butter or a side of grilled vegetables. But what it brings to your nervous system is far from gentle. It's silent and it's serious. And what makes it worse is how often this fish goes unnamed. Many restaurants don't tell you what the catch of the day really is. That's why you need to ask. Don't be embarrassed. Don't assume. Ask clearly, what fish is this? If it's tilefish, choose something else. Better options, cod, haddock. These white fish are much safer for seniors. They're low in mercury, easy to digest and full of gentle nutrition. You deserve to enjoy a nice meal without wondering if it's quietly hurting your brain. Being informed means being in control. Now picture this, a family cruise, a fancy celebration dinner. You want to treat yourself, so you choose something special. Swordfish. It sounds rich, hearty and healthy. It even feels like a reward. But here's what no one at the table is talking about. Swordfish is one of the oldest, biggest predatory fish in the ocean. And that matters because the longer a fish lives and the higher up it is in the food chain, the more toxins it stores in its flesh. And swordfish stores a lot, especially mercury. Cooking doesn't remove mercury. Grilling doesn't make it safer. The heat might kill bacteria, but mercury stays inside the meat, no matter what you do. So when you take that first bite of perfectly grilled swordfish, you're also taking in a heavy load of mercury. And for older adults, that's not just a small issue. Mercury accumulates in your kidneys, your brain, your nervous system. It can worsen high blood pressure, cause tremors, trigger memory loss, or slow your coordination. If you already have issues with balance, swordfish might push things over the edge. There's a reason neurologists now ask patients about diet, because food and brain health are directly connected. And swordfish, while it looks elegant on the plate, could be silently doing damage behind the scenes. So what's a safer swap? Try rainbow trout or pollock. Both are tender, flavorful, and low in mercury. They're kind to your heart, your joints, and your memory. You can bake them, season them, and still enjoy that feeling of a special meal without putting your health on the line. You don't have to give up the feeling of celebration. Just give your body something that celebrates you back. Let's talk about a fish that often feels trendy, light, and fresh. One that's found at nearly every upscale restaurant, sushi bar, and seafood counter. Big-eye tuna, also known as ahi tuna. It looks beautiful on the plate, deep red, silky, luxurious. And if you've ever had sushi or seared tuna steak, chances are you've had this fish. But here's what most people don't know. Big-eye tuna is a top predator. It swims deep and lives long, which means it carries a heavy load of mercury, just like swordfish. But here's the added danger. It's often eaten raw. That means you're not only risking mercury exposure, but also bacteria. Now, when you're young, your immune system can usually fight off things like mild food-borne illness, but for older adults, even a small bacterial infection can become serious. It might lead to days in bed, hospital visits, or complications that linger. Big-eye tuna can carry parasites, salmonella and listeria, and those don't get destroyed if the fish isn't fully cooked. Seniors with weakened immunity are especially at risk. Your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, so that fresh, elegant sushi dinner might be more risky than refreshing. Another issue, people often think all tuna is the same, but there's a big difference between big-eye or albacore and safer options like skipjack tuna. Skipjack is the variety usually found in canned light tuna. It's lower in mercury, easier on digestion, and much safer for seniors. So if you enjoy tuna, you don't have to give it up completely. Just be smart about the type and how it's prepared. Choose canned light tuna in moderation. Make sure it's cooked. Avoid raw tuna dishes, especially if you're managing a chronic condition or taking medications that already stress your system. In your later years, eating well isn't just about pleasure, it's about prevention. You deserve meals that nourish without putting your health at risk. Let's shift to a fish that almost everyone believes is healthy, salmon. You see it in nutrition books. Doctors recommend it. People associate it with heart health, omega-3s, and clean eating. But not all salmon is created equal. In fact, the type that ends up in many grocery store coolers is often the worst choice for older adults. We're talking about farmed salmon. It looks appealing, bright pink, neatly packaged, often priced just right. But what the label doesn't tell you is how that salmon was raised. Farmed salmon are grown in overcrowded underwater cages, thousands of fish in tight spaces. To survive, they're fed pellets made of processed ingredients. Many are given antibiotics to prevent disease and chemical dyes to make their flesh look pink. Without the dyes, the meat would actually be grey. Worse still, those pellets often contain contaminants like PCBs and dioxins. These are industrial toxins that don't just wash away in cooking, they accumulate in the body over time. And for seniors, that's a problem. These toxins have been linked to hormone disruption, immune suppression, inflammation, and even cancer. They also strain the liver and kidneys, organs that are already working harder in older age. Many people don't know they're eating farmed salmon. The packaging rarely tells the full story. Sometimes it just says Atlantic salmon. And most of the time, that means farmed. So what should you do? The answer is not to give up salmon, it's to choose the right kind. Look for labels that say wild-caught and Alaskan. These salmon swim free in clean waters, eat a natural diet, and are much lower in contaminants. They still provide the rich omega-3s you need, but without the toxic baggage. Yes, wild salmon may cost a little more, but the investment goes toward your health, toward fewer toxins in your system, better heart protection, and stronger aging defenses. Now, let's talk about something that hits close to home for many families: catfish. For some older adults, catfish isn't just food, it's a memory, a tradition, a dish passed down through generations. Fried catfish on a Sunday afternoon, the smell filling the kitchen, a table full of smiles. But here's the truth no one likes to hear. If that catfish came from outside the United States, especially from parts of Southeast Asia, it may carry more than just flavor. It could be bringing hidden dangers straight to your plate. Imported catfish are often raised in large, crowded ponds with poor water quality. To keep disease from spreading in these unsanitary conditions, farmers rely on antibiotics. Some of these antibiotics are banned in the US because they're linked to drug resistance and long-term health issues. And that's not all. To fatten the fish quickly, they're sometimes fed low-grade pellets made from questionable sources. These pellets can contain residues of pesticides and industrial toxins that build up inside the fish's flesh. For a younger person with a strong immune system, the risks might be lower. But for someone over 60, whose immune defenses have naturally declined, eating contaminated fish can lead to serious problems. A stomach bug that a younger adult shakes off in a day might send a senior to the hospital. A mild infection can turn into something serious, especially for someone managing diabetes, heart disease, or kidney problems. Still, people often choose imported catfish because it's cheap and easy to find. But that low price hides a high cost. So what can you do instead? If you love catfish, there's no need to give it up. Just make one important change. Choose US farm-raised catfish. American fish farms have stricter regulations. Better water quality, safer feed, and limited use of antibiotics. Also, always cook catfish thoroughly. Well-done fish lowers the risk of bacteria and parasites, especially for those with weaker digestion. Comfort food should feel safe, and with the right choices, it still can be. Let's take a step back for a moment. This video hasn't just been about fish, it's been about something much bigger. It's about protection, about care, about the small everyday decisions that shape how we age. Because when you sit across the table from someone you love and you watch them eat a plate of fish they've always enjoyed, it's hard to imagine that it could be doing them harm, but sometimes it is. Quietly, slowly, without a single warning sign until it's too late. Maybe it's your father, maybe your grandmother, maybe it's you. The truth is, no one wants to think that their comfort food, their healthy choice, their favorite meal could be risky. But as we get older, the rules change. The things our bodies could once handle with ease now need a second thought. It's not about blame, it's not about fear, it's about awareness. Because every year, thousands of older adults face health issues they never saw coming. Memory loss, sudden fatigue, digestive problems, high blood pressure. And many of these problems can be made worse by hidden toxins in everyday foods. That's why knowing matters. When you understand which fish carry more mercury, which farming practices are questionable, and how your body handles things differently at 65 than it did at 45, you're no longer guessing, you're choosing. And those choices, they matter more than you think. Choosing wild salmon over farmed, choosing cod over tilefish, choosing light tuna instead of big eye. These small shifts can protect your brain, your heart, your kidneys, your immune system. They can give you more good days, more clear mornings, more walks without fatigue. You don't need to change everything overnight, just one step at a time, just one meal at a time. That's how strength returns. That's how independence lasts. Because growing older isn't about giving up your favorites. It's about choosing them more wisely, with more love, with more knowledge. And that's exactly what we're doing here, together. Let's bring it all together. If you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this: not all fish are created equal. And when you're over 60, the kind of fish you eat matters more than ever. Here are the 6 fish older adults should be especially cautious about. 1. King mackerel. It sounds healthy, but it is packed with mercury. Mercury builds up in the brain, affects memory, weakens nerves, and can quietly contribute to heart problems. Choose Atlantic mackerel or sardines instead. 2. Tilefish. Often hidden under generic names like whitefish or catch of the day at restaurants. Tilefish, especially from the Gulf of Mexico, has some of the highest mercury levels ever recorded. Always ask what fish you're being served. Choose cod or haddock instead. 3. Swordfish. A rich and hearty choice for special occasions, but also a long-living predator fish that absorbs toxins over time. Mercury stays locked in the meat, no matter how you cook it. Swap it for a rainbow trout or pollock for a safer and still flavorful meal. 4. Big eye tuna, AI tuna, a sushi favorite, but risky when eaten raw due to bacteria and parasites. It also ranks high on the mercury scale. Seniors should stick to light canned tuna and eat it cooked. No more than 2 servings per week. 5. Farmed salmon. It might look fresh and pink in the store, but farmed salmon can contain antibiotics, artificial coloring, and industrial toxins. These chemicals can trigger inflammation, affect hormones, and weaken the immune system. Look for wild-caught Alaskan salmon instead. 6. Imported catfish comfort food with a catch. Imported varieties from regions with low safety standards often contain banned antibiotics and dangerous bacteria. For safer indulgence, choose US farmed catfish and always cook it thoroughly. Each of these fish may seem harmless at first glance. Some are even labeled as healthy, but when it comes to aging bodies with slower digestion, weaker immune systems, and more fragile organs, the difference between one choice and another could be everything. Better options exist, safer swaps are possible, and you now have the knowledge to make them. Tonight, before you head to bed, I want you to do something small but powerful. Go to your kitchen, open your fridge, check your freezer, look at the labels on the fish you have at home. Ask yourself, is this wild-caught or farmed? Is it imported or raised in the US? Could this be one of the 6 fish we talked about today? Don't wait for a health scare to start making changes. Prevention doesn't require a complete lifestyle overhaul. It starts with one small conscious step at a time. Maybe tonight it's removing a piece of farmed salmon and writing down a plan to replace it with wild-caught next time. Maybe it's choosing light canned tuna instead of big eye. Maybe it's deciding to skip tilefish the next time you're out to eat and asking your waiter for something safer. And if you're not the one cooking in your home, share what you've learned. Sit down with your spouse, your children, or your caregiver and talk about these 6 fish. Share your concerns, not with fear, but with love and wisdom. Show them that this isn't about restriction, it's about protection. It's about enjoying the years ahead with clarity, strength, and peace of mind. Because real change happens in kitchens, not in clinics, in daily habits, not annual checkups. You have the power to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. And it begins with what's on your plate. This video is made for you, for your loved ones, and for anyone who believes that aging should not mean surrendering to hidden dangers in everyday foods. Let's pause for a moment. After everything we've talked about today, you might feel overwhelmed, maybe even a little frustrated, and that's okay. These weren't easy truths. These were hard-earned lessons, buried beneath years of routine, culture, and assumptions. But now you know, and that knowledge is your strength, because here's the truth I want you to carry with you. You are not powerless. You are not stuck with the choices of the past. You are not too old to make a difference in your health. Every single day is a new opportunity to protect yourself, to strengthen your body, and to make smarter, kinder decisions for the life ahead of you. You've survived so much. You've carried your family, your work, your responsibilities for decades. And now it's your turn to be carried. By wisdom, by care, by choices that honor everything your body has done for you. Food is not just fuel. It is medicine. It is memory. It is legacy. And when you choose safer fish, when you read labels, when you speak up at the restaurant or the grocery store, you're not just eating better. You're sending a message to your body that says, I still matter, my health still matters, my future still matters. So please hold on to that. Let it guide you. Let it comfort you when doubt creeps in. Let it remind you that you are still very much in control of how you age. And most of all, let it inspire you to share this message with your children, with your neighbors, with anyone who still believes that all fish is created equal. Because it's not. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for choosing to learn, for choosing to protect yourself and the people you love. Stay wise, stay strong, and as always, keep choosing the life you deserve, one thoughtful bite at a time.